It's real talk. 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 Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
And here we go. On this Monday evening, it is August 14th, 2023, 6 p.m. straight up, which means you are in the midst of Real Talk Memphis. Good to have you with us. It's great to be here. I am your humble host, Chip Washington. Another beautiful day in the city. Bit warm, but fear not. Temperatures are going to cool down, I think, after today. Next few days, we'll see highs in the 80s and lows in the 60s. We'll take it. We're not going to argue about that at all. I hope all has been well since the last time we corresponded about 7 days ago, and that you're feeling good, fired up, and ready to go. We hope that you can spend the hour with us this evening. We, as always, effort to try to put on a good show for you, have some good guests, some good information, and I think we might be able to accomplish that tonight. It's always a pleasure to follow Level Lola. You know, she got me when I come down here to head down this way during her show, and it's invariable. At one point or another, she plays a song that takes me back a few years, so I have to bop. Even though folks look at me like he's crazy. Is he having a seizure or something? What's wrong with that guy? You know, because she be hitting. Anyway, another great show for on the level tonight for Lola. As we do each and every week, we lay out how you can get this fine piece of radio broadcasting. Of course, we are live right now on 91.7. That would be WYXR on your FM side. You can also catch us on the WYXR app, WYXR.org. You can also catch us on the TuneIn app, if that's your thing. We are also on Facebook Live this evening. Tomorrow, when the show is posted, you can catch us when they post it to YouTube. And we are a podcast, you can always catch us after the show is posted wherever you get your podcast. Again, great to be here. Great to have you with us this evening. In terms of our guest tonight, there's a lot of news happening in and out and around. You know, every time you try to put together a little script of what's going on, there's always something that pops even after that. But in terms of the guest, we will be speaking with Ernest Strickland. Ernest is the president of the Black Business Association of Memphis. And they're going to have a big event happening in our city about a week or so from now. And we're going to talk a little bit about some symposium. And we're going to talk about the state of black business here in Memphis. And if the recent episodes of crime that are happening here are impacting that any as well. A little bit later, we're going to speak with State Representative John Ray Clemmons. He is the head of the Democratic Caucus. A week from today, there is going to be a special session called by Governor Lee to address, in air quotes, gun control, any type of, legislation that is going to change the face of that we're all dealing with. I'll be honest with you. I have absolutely zero hope that the majority of Republicans or the Republican majority wants anything to do with this, but nonetheless, we will be speaking with State Representative John Ray Clemmons about what he thinks about all of this. They're doing a bus tour now across the state to raise awareness of people that there's going to be a special session because they want folks to show up and show out next week. A little bit later on, we're going to talk about a program. I don't know how many of you heard about it, but I recently heard about it. It's called Girls on the Run. And basically, it is an organization that combines physical fitness and emotional, stability as girls start to grow up and develop during their formative years. And they use that in a very unique way in a combination to help girls cope as they grow up. They start from the third grade and work themselves right on up. And I look forward to having that conversation with how they do what they do and why it is so important for them to do what they do. So that's the lineup this evening. And we hope you stick with us for the hour, as I said a few minutes ago. As we do each and every Monday about this same time, we celebrate you. Your birthday, your trip around the sun. A lot of folks born in July. We like to shout you out, make you feel special on your very special day. But I can't do that until I say, hit it, Brent. Happy birthday, happy birthdays going out to the following folks. Retha Jones celebrating today as Lola gets close to the microphone. Tamarcus Porter celebrating his birthday today. Annie Terrell Harper, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Verna Nelson. Yolanda Rochelle Kite Brown celebrating a birthday today, as is Carolyn Bibbs. Dorothy Gracie Alston celebrating today. Happy birthday to Johnny Eason. Let's see here. Shanae Yancey. Happy birthday to LaShero Thomas. To Karen Wolf. I know Karen Wolf. Happy birthday, Karen. To Levita McCoo and Patrice Monsell. Happy birthday to each and every one of you, Lola.
Yes, and on this Saturday, a happy heavenly to Mr. Robert Hollywood Rayford. It is Memphis's very own Robert Hollywood Day on Saturday. Just down at Paula and Rayford at 5 p.m. right out front. It's going to be a celebration.
Are you going to be there?
Of course.
I'm sorry. I just I have to ask for your many friends.
We love a disco.
We love a disco. Thank you, Lola. And to each and every one of you, a very happy birthday. And we hope that this day has been filled with fun and love and laughter. And we look forward to celebrating you again next year. Thank you, Bren. All right, so in news and notes, I'm sure that many of you are aware about 2:30, 3 o'clock yesterday morning, there were 8 people shot downtown right at B.B. King and Peabody Place. No one was critically injured. They were all non-critical. 8 people shot, no suspect information. A couple of hours earlier, there were cars actually in the area doing donuts in the middle of the street. You know what I'm talking about. And a law enforcement officer, a police officer, was actually assaulted. It's on video if you hadn't seen it. Fox 13 has it, of these individuals striking this law enforcement officer, hitting him and trying to beat him up on the street. So it has been a very ugly last 24 hours. A total of 10 people shot, and this is since yesterday. 2 of those people, unfortunately, losing their life. So once again, we're talking about a special session that's about to happen here next week. But we continue with the violent streak that we see can't deal with in our city. And it just continues going on and on and on. I don't know if anybody down here can fix it, but I do know that God can absolutely fix it. In other news, the People's Convention. We're getting close to a big election. The mayor's election is October 5th, as is the city council. And, of course, over the weekend, they gave the general public a chance to come to the event center and speak to candidates who are running for these positions and vying for your vote. Yes, Saturday was the mayoral portion of all of this. I went down on Saturday because I wanted to see exactly who showed up and what candidates showed up. And I will tell you this, there was a good crowd there, but of the 17 candidates running for mayor, only 2 showed up. 2. Van Turner and Paul Young showed up to talk to the crowd and speak on why they feel like they should be elected to be your next mayor. Kind of sad that a lot of other folks had other things to do rather than to come and meet with the people who are charged with who are charged with voting them into office. Paul Young did win the straw poll, by the way, in terms of who folks would prefer in that. So again, the election is October 5th, so we'll see what happens. Memphis in May. Now we need to address this because Memphis in May might be thinking about moving from downtown Memphis to another location. Why? Because the people that oversee the park said that this year's festival caused $1.4 million in damage to the park, which is being renovated and is supposed to be open on September 2nd. The folks that work on Memphis in May are a part of that group are responsible for paying that. $1.4 million. They clearly can't afford that. And apparently the arrangement of the folks who are overseeing the park versus the folks who work for Memphis in May is not getting along very well. And there's a bit of a mention now about perhaps being able to find another location. So I just wonder what people would think about that. And then what the other location would be should it get serious enough to where Memphis in May might be moving. So we will find out about that as well. Let me see here. As I mentioned at the top, the State House in Nashville is going to hold a special session to address gun control or gun reform legislation. We're going to talk to a state legislator in just a couple of minutes about that. And surprising news today from Nashville. TSU, Tennessee State University President Glenda Glover announced her retirement today. She's been at that school 10 years, has done amazing things for the campus, and she is going to step away in the spring semester, which is just, around the corner. So, again, I've known her for a long time, and she really is one of the best people, and wish her nothing but the best success and whatever future holds for her as she is retiring from that position. There's a situation that happened. How many of you are familiar with the movie The Blind Side? Is that what it's called? The Blind Side? About the football player Michael Orr, who was adopted by the Toohey family here, supposed to be living on the streets. Well, Michael Orr says that this story was based on a lie, and that the Toohey family financially benefited from this story through a conservatorship, which has sort of gotten everybody a little like, wait, what? And he says that he's due some money, some royalties, the whole 9 yards. Sean Toohey said today that he was shocked by the allegations. There was a conservatorship that there had to be at the time. They were going through all of this with him at Ole Miss because he was 18 years of age. All they could do was a conservatorship. He says in terms of any financial remunerations, the writer of the movie paid each member of the family $14,000, including Michael Orr at the time, which doesn't seem like much. Now, the Tooheys are a $1 million family. They owned many, many Taco Bells here in this city back in the day. Sold them all and wound up with $214 million off of that sale. So anyway, this is going to go to court. Now, it's been a bit of a shock to most people hearing about that today. So we'll pay attention to it and see what comes from it. Finally, if you guys listening or watching or praying, folks, let's pray for the people in Maui. That fire that broke out on that island has claimed 98 lives so far. There are many people that are still missing and presumed dead in this situation. That fire consumed that island from all sides to the point to where it started from the outside in, and people were basically trapped. They were literally trapped. So it's an extraordinarily sad situation. It has already gone down as the worst wildfire in U.S. history, but we will probably see a lot more fatalities before it's all said and done. So please, send your thoughts that way because so many people out there are going to be suffering for quite a while and really need our help. That is a look at news and notes. We're going to take our first break of the night, and when we come back, we're going to get into it. What do you say on this Monday edition of Real Talk Memphis? I'm Chip. You know who you are. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest? or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
WYXR is supported by the Museum of Science and History, presenting Laser Live, which brings live music and laser light effects together for a live concert series in the Mosh AutoZone Dome at the Sharp Planetarium.
The series continues with Al Capone on August 19th. More information at moshmemphis.com.
Hey, it's Jared J.B. Boyd. Hear my exclusive one-on-one interview with Memphis Soul architect Booker T. Jones, recorded live from Lincoln Center in New York City, plus a bonus performance from Stax Music Academy. Your chance to hear the local radio premiere of this historic program happens right here on WYXR, Saturday, August 19th at 2 p.m.
WYXR is supported by Mempho, presenting Green Sky Bluegrass at Minglewood Hall on Thursday, November 16th. This is an all-ages show and will include an opening set by Lindsay Liu. Ticket information and availability at memphopresents.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this beautiful Monday evening in the city. Chip with you. We talked about this at the top of the show. Memphis right now is going through some trying times, some difficult times in terms of the violent aspect of things in our city, it can tend to affect other things that are happening here that are in a more positive direction. And one of the biggest things that we talk about here is business. And how important the business community is to the city of Memphis and Shelby County. And I'm very happy to have with us tonight the president of the Black Business Association. He is Mr. Ernest Strickland, and he joins me now. And Ernest, it's great to see you, and thanks for coming on the show, man. Really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So, first of all, for those who don't know, how long have you been the president of the Black Business Association, and really, what is your organization all about? What are you looking to achieve as you continue about your work on a daily basis?
So I've been in economic development, community development work for almost 20 years. The last 2 years, I've been president and CEO of the Black Business Association. We are a 49-year-old trade organization. We're 501c6 nonprofit dedicated to supporting Black businesses grow, start, scale, and we do a lot of advocating and technical assistance for Black companies.
So, having said that, obviously you're responsible in part for the economic engine that makes the wheels turn around here. And as you look at, how many members do you have in your organization right at present?
600 plus members, Chip.
That's a lot of folks. And is it continuing to grow under the current leadership?
It is actually, before joining the Black Business Association, I had the good fortune of having a career in economic development with the Greater Memphis Chamber. Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of tools and infrastructure and resources that I saw at the Chamber that we're now adopting at the BBA. And so one of those tools was Growth Zone, which is a platform for us to capture members, understand their needs, and be able to share out the impact that we're having. And so we've seen definitely an increase over the last 2 years, especially with the new tools that we've implemented.
There is, as you talk about this, thinking about business and business development, when people come to you or your organization and they want to find out about our city, and more importantly, how to become involved with your organization, what are some of the general questions that people ask you, in reference to what you all do and how you might be able to help them?
Show me the money.
Yeah.
That's the number one question we get. Companies needing to access capital. Oftentimes, we start companies and we're undercapitalized when we open the doors. That creates a situation where we're going from invoice to invoice. If it was a work situation, it would be paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
And so we're very mindful of the need of our members to be able to access capital.
So, and obviously that is a very, very important component in terms of this. Given the times that we are living in as a city, and given the fact that, economics obviously runs the train, we're dealing with some challenges, I would say, crime in particular. And with that, are there challenges for people thinking about coming here? Are you starting to hear conversations like that in terms of the landscape today?
Yeah, and I'm a native Memphian. I've been here all my life. I consider myself a Memphian by choice. I've had multiple opportunities to take jobs and positions in other markets, but I always stay here in Memphis because I feel that there's so much upside potential for us to capitalize on. We have seen a number of individuals and companies express concerns regarding crime and safety. I also have the privilege of serving on the Memphis in May board, and looking at the Beale Street Music Festival, attendance was down this year, partly because of the reputation of Memphis being unsafe. And so we see the negative ramifications of that type of reputation on a daily basis.
Yeah, I would imagine so, and that too would present a challenge. Now, you're having a big event here next week, a symposium that will be hosted by the National Civil Rights Museum. Tell our listeners about that.
Yeah, so on Saturday, August 19th, from 10 to 2 p.m. at the National Civil Rights Museum, the Black Business Association is hosting our first ever Building Wealth in the Black Community Symposium. The purpose of this particular symposium, especially at this particular time, is critical. We know that building wealth is an economic development strategy, it's a health and wellness strategy, it's an education strategy. And a lot of the reasons, I truly feel this, Chip, a lot of the reasons why Memphis has not achieved the level of success that in Atlanta and or other markets have achieved is because the lack of wealth that's being circulated in the Black community. And so on Saturday, we're going to have a conversation. We're bringing in national speakers to share best practices and give insights. We'll have opportunity for businesses to network with each other and to create a call to action for us to start being more intentional about how we spend our individual budgets. I have a choice of real estate agent. I have a choice of insurance agent. I have a choice of where I go to buy apparel.
Sure.
And we have to be intentional about how we spend our dollars as we look to build greater wealth in our community.
So these kind of conversations obviously, are very important. They're targeted based on what you've seen from the economics of our city. And this, as you said earlier, will give people a chance not only to hear from some national experts who have overcome and who are doing well, but more importantly, be able to ask questions about, how they, folks here, can be a part of that as well. This sounds like a really important information session. Am I correct in that?
Very much so. Information session as well as an action session. We're bringing these folks in not because we don't have experts here, but because we want to learn what other markets are doing right so that we can replicate and emulate those type of practices and behaviors. We're excited. The speakers that we have are world class. They have done amazing in their respective fields. And it will also give us a chance to showcase our community to national speakers so that they can go back to their respective communities with a different impression about Memphis.
So once again, it is next. It's the 19th. Am I correct? The date?
The 19th, Saturday.
Okay. Saturday from 10 a.m. to what time?
2 p.m.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if they have any questions, they can reach out to your organization and get all the information they need, correct?
Absolutely. Our website is bbamemphis.com. You can follow us on all of our social media, BBA Memphis. We're working with the local influencers to get the word out. And we really want you to have a strong turnout from the community so that we can start moving the conversation forward about how we build wealth in the Black community.
Ernest Strickland, president of the Black Business Association of Memphis. Ernest, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. And more importantly, we really appreciate you, what you're trying to do to uplift our community. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Chip.
Have a good night. Thank you so much. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to build wealth in our own communities is something that is extraordinarily important. And these folks are having a symposium for you to go to and ask questions and learn how to be the next business entrepreneurs of the future. We thank Ernest for coming on the show. Quick commercial break. And when we come back, we will continue for this Monday right here on Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Crosstown Brewing Company is excited to bring you the 6th installment of Crosstoberfest, CBC's annual celebration of beer, autumn, music, food, and fun. The event is on October 14th from 12 to 8, with live music starting at 1. Expect fun for the whole family with activities for the kids, food, games, and more. More information can be found on the brewery's social media channels.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. And as we talked about at the top, guns, gun violence, gun safety are all big topics of conversation. We see the ramifications of where we are each and every day. The governor has called a special session of the legislature to meet a week from tonight, next Monday, to hopefully address gun violence and see if we can come up with some kind of a solution or some sort of remedy for it. To that end, I have very fortunate to have State Representative John Ray Clemmons from Nashville with us tonight. And Representative Clemmons, thank you again so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's an honor to join you this evening.
So listen, we've been dealing with violence not only here in Shelby County, but all over the state of Tennessee. You all were unfortunately up close and personal, a witness to all of this earlier this year with the Covenant School shooting, which prompted a mass protest from all across this state. You launched a bus tour last week to create more of an awareness to the citizens out here about this special session, how important it is, and how much they need to be involved in that. It's probably a dumb question I'm about to ask, but how concerned are citizens that you're speaking to in reference to the continuing gun violence we see on a daily basis?
Well, that's a great question. Every single community is directly impacted by this. Unfortunately, this is reactionary to the Covenant School shooting here in Nashville. But the reality is that almost every community across our state is experiencing gun violence in one way or another. There are too many victims right now in families across this state who have lost a loved one or had someone injured because of gun violence. So what I'm hearing across the state as we travel around on our school bus is a real desire to get something done. I mean, we've had people come up, who profess that they're responsible gun owners, like I am, quite honestly, and others who believe, they don't want any infringement on their Second Amendment rights, but they do believe that something has to be done. And that's what we want to see. I mean, I think we need to have an adult conversation and really discuss some solutions to end this gun violence that's plaguing the state of Tennessee at numbers that far exceed any other state.
Yeah, it has been a problem for a very long time. Many people feel that the governor called this special session because one of the victims of the Covenant shooting was a very close personal family friend of theirs, and I don't know if that's the case or not. But I don't know that we necessarily need a reason, but. When that happened, when that shooting happened at that school in the district up there that you represent, and you saw all these people en masse coming from all over the state to protest and almost beg for something to be done, how did that make you feel at that time?
Well, it's unfortunate it took such a tragedy to get people engaged like that, because again, this has been plaguing our communities for some time. We've passed a series of laws over the last decade since the GOP's taken over the state that has reduced in a serious increase and a steady increase in gun violence. So, but I will say, it's always great to see people come to the Capitol. One of the things that's missing up here is accountability. A lot of my colleagues come up here to Nashville and think they can vote however they want and do whatever they want, and nobody's going to hold them accountable. So I love seeing the more people, the better up here in the state Capitol, because it reminds people that people are watching, people are paying attention, and people expect us to do the right thing on behalf of Tennessee families.
Being that the Republican Party is the supermajority, in our state and at the State House up there, are you hoping? I know there's always hope, but I mean, is there a realistic chance that something substantial could come out of this special session? I mean, we've heard that there are many leaders on the Republican side who don't expect to vote on anything substantial. There were even some apparently that suggested to the governor he not even have this special session. So really, how optimistic and hopeful are you that something meaningful can come out of this get together?
Well, unfortunately, the proclamation issued by Governor Lee pretty much shuts the door on any real solutions to the real root cause of gun violence, which is guns themselves. He shut the door on our ability to pass most gun safety legislation. But what he did is he's unfortunately used this special session as a Trojan horse, more or less, to sneak in some really harmful legislation. We've made great progress on criminal justice reform in the state of Tennessee over the last few years. What he has opened the door to is almost like Pandora's box here. We could pass a series of bills that would reverse a lot of the progress we've made on criminal justice reform. He's, everything from trying juveniles as adults, violating health privacy, making it harder to expunge criminal records. Now that's all on the table, and that's really disappointing. And so, there's a lot of people who on both sides of this who think more harm could come from this special session than good. And I don't appreciate Governor Bill Lee using this special session as a Trojan horse to pass harmful legislation in a 3 or 4 day time period. We owe more to the families who've experienced gun violence and who are victims of gun violence than trying to sneak through harmful legislation such that they have proposed and are continuing to propose.
I remember specifically you a few months back when the very unfortunate incident of expelling two of our legislators from the House for trying to speak and demonstrate their concern about the gun violence that we're seeing on a regular basis nowadays. And I remember seeing you specifically, you're as the head of the Democratic caucus, speaking vociferously in support of the two Justins, in terms of this. Now, we've had to go through these special elections, and they've both been reelected to their offices, and they cannot be expelled. But can you take us back to that moment in time that we were all witness to, not only here but all across this country, saw what happened, and just kind of what you were thinking as all of that was going on in real time?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty surreal, to be honest with you. We hold ourselves out to be this model of democracy for the rest of the world. But the reality is we showed the rest of the world what poor leadership looks like, and through a very undemocratic process. They tried to expel two of my legislators in the House Democratic Caucus, Justin Pearson and Justin Jones, two strong, vital voices of an entire generation, and also of the Democratic Party here in the state of Tennessee. And they tried to silence them. And so, when people saw me lose my cool a little bit, because I don't have any patience for it, and no one should have any patience for it.
Right.
The reason they spoke out, they went to the well and violated those House rules of decorum, was because our voices were being silenced. And so here we were having an expulsion hearing on the House floor, and they called the question, which is a procedural tactic to prevent us from defending our colleagues, and again, to silence our voices. Mm-hmm. And I'd had enough. And I think most people witnessed me having enough on the House floor. Sure. Fortunately, we made good points. We're united as a caucus. We stand by our own, and we stand for the principles on which our country and our state were founded. That was a tremendously undemocratic process that really made Tennessee look very, very poor in the eyes of not only our country, but the world. Yeah. I tell people in my district, when your state representative is getting interviewed by the BBC, something's going on at the state legislature. It's not right. So we were making international news for all the wrong reasons. Absolutely that.
Are you concerned at all? You mentioned the fact that you are unified as a party and as a body, that we might see some type of foolishness in reference to that if some of the Democrats who have a chance to speak on some of these issues next week get a bit, shall I say, passionate. Are you concerned at all that we might see the same type of foolishness again?
Well, it remains to be seen, but I mean, why shouldn't we be passionate about this issue? We're talking about nothing less than the safety of our children. And if everybody's not passionate about protecting the lives of children across the state of Tennessee, I don't know what you're going to be passionate about. I've got 3 small boys myself in public school here in Nashville, and I can tell you I'm very passionate about it. So if they try to silence us again and they try to pass these rules, which they'll do, to keep us from talking or debating important issues, I think we're going to do what we can, preferably within the rules and within the rules of the House. But, it's important that everyone's voice is heard. Not just those who agree with me, but also those who disagree with me, and it goes both ways. So, we're going to make sure that the people of Tennessee are heard, because an overwhelming majority of Tennesseans want to see action to reduce gun violence and protect our children. And none of that is being allowed to be discussed because of Governor Bill Lee and his proclamation and his conspiracy with the supermajority up here to prevent that type of thing. So, we'll do what we have to do to make our points. Hopefully we can do so within the rules of the House. But yeah, you're going to see some passion. You're definitely going to hear some passion out of me, and I expect to hear it out of my colleagues, because we care. We care about Tennessee families. That's what we're elected to do.
Absolutely that. And I was sitting here thinking, I was listening to you talk, and some of the things that were passed in the last session, in reference to the permitless carry, and now taking that age from 21 down to 18. And of course, we have such a tremendous problem here, in Memphis and Shelby County. The local city council wants to add a referendum to the ballot next year's election to reverse that permitless carry and a couple of other things associated with these carrying these weapons. But unfortunately, the state has made it so that anything that comes from the local municipalities, they have the opportunity to basically overrule that, right? I mean, basically cancel that out. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. The principles of local control or self-governance at the local level mean nothing to these extremists running our state legislature. They'll reverse anything they want to at the local level. And I think most people know what they did to Nashville last year, they brought 6 pieces of legislation to try to take over our city and pass several of them. So yeah, there's no line they won't cross these days, regardless of the issue. So I'd be prepared to have a real battle on your hands, regardless of what locals do.
Well, listen, I want to thank you for your time tonight. More importantly, I want to thank you for your passion, your demonstrated passion as a leader of the Democratic caucus, for trying to do the right thing. And at this particular point in time, all we can do is wait. You laid it out pretty clearly for all of us, what we might expect there. But thank you again for your passion and for your commitment, to trying to do the right thing and trying to save lives out here. Really appreciate you, and more importantly, appreciate you taking the time to come on our show and talk with us tonight. Really, really do.
I really appreciate the opportunity. I just encourage everyone who's listening to keep your ears open and your eyes wide open, because they're going to try to, increase this school to prison pipeline, I'm afraid, here with this special session, rather than addressing gun violence. So please pay close attention.
State Representative John Ray Clemmons, thank you so much, sir, and best of luck next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what you just heard is from someone who is directly involved in this effort. I've spoken to many of the representatives from here in Memphis and Shelby County, and while folks are hopeful, I think a lot of them share Representative Clemmons' opinion about what is happening, and it's almost like gridlock. All we can do is continue the fight. All we can do is stay involved. All we can do is not give up this fight. And, as has been said in the past, if you want to see substantial change, then you need to go to the polls wherever you are and vote these folks out of office who are not doing what they need to do to help keep us as citizens safe. Enough is enough with all of this. It's like we're spinning our wheels in mud. But the best way to be able to defeat this is to defeat them at the polls and change the supermajority into a minority one day, and vote people in office who are actually willing to do something to make things better for all of us as citizens. I mean, this is sheer nonsense to have to, to try to put local legislation together only to be overruled by the state. That's too much power for anybody. And if you are tired of seeing the bloodshed, if you are tired of seeing innocent people slaughtered, if you are tired of being afraid to come outside and stand on your porch for fear somebody's going to come by and shoot your windows out or shoot at you, then there are options that we need to try to exercise. The silent voices are the ones that are the most complicit. And if you are not part of the solution, you are part of the problem, period. Period. That's it. Again, we wish the Democrats well next week, but I'm optimistic like everybody else is, but I don't know what we're going to see on the back end. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to shift gears, and we're going to talk a little bit about a program for girls, specifically for girls, and it will help them mature while they're growing up. And, of course, it'll help on the physical fitness side as well. It's a unique program. It's called Girls on the Run, so I'm waiting for my guests to show up for that. But thank you all on the Facebook Live line. I see you out there tonight. Really appreciate you being here. GKP. Joining in the conversation, Terry Harris and Audrey is on tonight, and a few folks here tonight. Christine Fox, Cheryl Lewis, and Lola's watching as well. She's sitting right behind me, but anyway, she's online. But listen, thank you all for your support as always. We'll take another break, and when we come back, we will continue on this Monday edition of Real Talk Memphis. Right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest? Or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
WYXR is supported by Memfo, presenting Green Sky Bluegrass at Minglewood Hall on Thursday, November 16th. This is an all-ages show and will include an opening set by Lindsay Liu. Ticket information and availability at memfopresents.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
It's real talk. 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 It's real talk.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis for this Monday evening. And as I said before the break, there's a unique organization out here that is geared toward the girls. And I had never heard of it before. It was brought to my attention. And the more I read about it, the more I was like, this is a very interesting concept. So I wanted to hear more about it. And I wanted you all to hear more about it in our listening audience. So I've invited a couple of folks here to talk about Girls on the Run. The executive director, Joanna Lippman, is joining us, as well as one of the members. I think you're a program assistant, Mia Miracle.
Yes, I am.
Mia Miracle Craig is with us, and she is a program assistant, has gone through the program. And ladies, it's great to see you. Great to have you on the show. Thanks for being here tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, Miss Joanna. So this is your program. You're the executive director. For folks who don't know or had not heard of Girls on the Run, kind of give us a rundown of exactly what your organization is all about.
Sure. So Girls on the Run is, we provide an after-school empowerment program for girls 3rd through 8th grade that really focuses on their social and emotional development and teaches them critical life skills that they need at this time when so many things in their lives are changing, this adolescent uncertainty. We're actually part of a national organization called Girls on the Run International, and we were founded here in Memphis 5 years ago exactly. So we're super excited to be kicking off our 5th year here with our program at schools and community centers across Memphis.
That sounds wonderful. In 5 years, congratulations on that as well. So basically, fundamentally, you're dealing with young ladies, and I believe it's what is it from 3rd grade up? Is that did I get that right?
Yes, you did. Yeah. So we offer 2 programs. We offer a program for our elementary age girls, 3rd through 5th grade. And then we offer a separate program for our middle school grade girls, the 6th through 8th grade girls.
A lot of camaraderie, I would imagine, a lot of getting to know folks from various areas. This is nationwide, is it not, the program?
Yes. Okay. Yes, it is. In fact, there's, I think, and Mia Miracle, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's 180 Girls on the Run councils across the United States. I mean, in Tennessee alone, we have 3 different councils that serve all across Tennessee, doing this program for girls from, all different counties and cities.
So before I get to Mia Miracle, Joanna, why was this important? Why was the need for a program like this so great?
That's such a good question. So I think there's several answers. I sort of focus on 2. One is that when we were thinking about founding this organization, what had become apparent to a bunch of different people from different areas of this city is that there really wasn't an equitable opportunity for girls to have programs that didn't just didn't just do one thing. So a high quality program that wasn't just about sports, that wasn't just about socializing, something that was holistic, that could really take girls at a pretty vulnerable time from all different circumstances and talk about the things that are important at that time, like building confidence, addressing their coping mechanisms. And there really weren't that many programs. There's a lot of after school programs that have been cut across our city. I mean, across I would say our country.
Sure.
And we saw, well, why doesn't everyone have access to something like Girls on the Run? And if we could provide that across the city and try and eliminate barriers to access, then why not try and attempt to start the program here? So that was one. And the other thing is that this is really a mentoring program. So I think that I recognize that Memphians give back, and there are a lot of, I think, people in our community who grew up here or who are coming in and see that, wow, if I could just, step into this school or step into this area or give back to the community in which I came from, that we could make a real difference here. So that was the kind of impetus for starting the program. And knowing that physical activity, running, is pretty much a low cost and pretty accessible way to also connect how your brain and your body influence one another and how you can feel better when you have maybe physical activity as a coping mechanism for stress.
Very interesting program. Mia Miracle, you went through this program, and now you're kind of on staff. First of all, what made you decide that you wanted to be a part of this program? And as you continue through it, and now you're sort of on the other side of things, helping these other young ladies. How gratifying has it been for you?
Oh, it has been amazing. I am originally from Louisiana, and I got to do the program there from 3rd through 5th grade. And being at Rhodes College now, I have a great opportunity with the Bonner Scholars to give back to the community, and learning that Girls on the Run, a program that was just so impactful to me here in Memphis, and I could, volunteer for it. It was just amazing. And then being able to be the second employee and really, bridge the gap between Rhodes College and Girls on the Run in Memphis, and kind of use my connections on campus to really bring them in, and learning skills of networking, and really just helping the community that I, just am grateful that I get to be a part of.
Being able to help these young ladies to mature and to grow, with this program that Joanna was describing, it really sounds like something that can not only be a now thing, but a future thing. Some of these young ladies that are in this program, I would imagine that you're really helping them to shape their lives and to grow. Am I on the right track with that?
Yes. I think that not only does it help the girls, but it also helps their families, their communities, and then, their future employers, their future relationships, everything that, every girl that we're able to get through the program. I believe that it's one step closer to really having good relationships and having healthy ways to express themselves, and so that they can be successful.
Joanna, one of the things I know that I read that is extraordinarily important to you and a need right now is for coaches. Am I correct in that?
You are 100% correct. So our program is led by facilitators that we call coaches, who are volunteers, and they volunteer a couple hours a week of their time to really become, I would say, embedded with our girls at their schools or the community centers, and spend time with the curriculum that we give them and that we train them in to lead the program and to develop those close relationships, to become role models. And the program, it isn't just, a one-time thing. We have, I think, 3 curriculums for our younger girls and 2 for our middle school girls. So our hope is that we don't just come in one time and then leave. The Girls on the Run is there to become a part of the community, to build trust within a community. And we hope that our coaches feel that, and that they are so moved to then stay committed to the site where they are coaching. So right now we have 17 sites. We're going to have our program starting right after Labor Day, and we need coaches. We have sites all across Memphis, and we really need amazing people. Any gender, all ages, really 18 plus for our adult coaches, 16 plus for our junior coaches, which are high schoolers, but we really need amazing people to help us out this fall.
Well, having you on to describe the good works that you're doing, and of course, Mia Miracle is one of the examples of what's good about this, and it says something to me, Mia Miracle, in reference to the fact that you went through this program, but you thought enough of what the program was all about, how it was structured, and what it meant to you to stick around and be a part of the staff. That must mean this is pretty special, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I can't even imagine all the different programs. Girls on the Run is definitely the most impactful one, because I was new to a school when I was getting into the program. So I met, the new friends. I also met the new mean girls who were a little mean, but then with the program, we ended up being friends. Okay. And now we still talk to each other, and we're still friends on Instagram and things like that. So just to see how even, the program is for every girl, even if, she might be a little sassy, or she might, need a little help expressing her feelings better. It's for every girl, because every girl can get benefits from it. And typically I've made lifelong friends. I have friends who I can call on that I made Girls on the Run in elementary school, and now I'm in college. And so really great community.
Well, thank you both for coming on the show. And Joanna, congratulations on this program. And we hope that it continues to be successful for you. And again, recruiting those coaches. They need coaches, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're interested in learning more, they can get in touch, right, Joanna?
Yes, they can. So our website is www.gotrmemphis, Memphis.org. And our coach applications actually close tomorrow, so there's no time like the present. And any email you see on that website is either myself or Mia Miracle. So we'll be in touch with you directly.
Listen, thank you so much for what you do for so many in this community. And thank you all for taking the time to come on the show tonight. I know, busy lives and a lot of other things. So I really appreciate you all taking the time. Best of luck. Congratulations, first of all, and best of luck in the future. I really appreciate it. And if there's anything we can do to help you, you know where I am, and you can always get in touch, okay?
Thank you so much. This was amazing.
Thank you so much.
All right. Y'all have a great night. Thank you for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Another great show. And as Bryn plays us out, I'm really thankful for organizations like Girls on the Run. And I'm also appreciative of anybody who wants to come on the show who's doing positive things out here for our community, because Lord knows we need it. And we need all of you. Thank you for being a part of this hour of information. I hope that this show becomes your Monday habit. I hope that if you enjoy what we do each and every week, try to put these things together, and that you will continue to support us, but also tell folks about joining the party, so to speak. Again, thank you. Truly appreciate it. Very humble. So for Nicole, for Lola, and for Bryn, I'm Chip. Listen, have a great week. Be safe. Watch out for each other, because others may not be watching out for you. And until next time, we are out. See you soon.